Hi, this is Paul with Tweaktown. We continue our coverage at the Flash Memory Summit 2013. We had to come out of the booth to a private room. We're here with Rich Peterson in the Software Solutions group of Sandisk. And what we're talking about today is how Flash is used to address performance challenges with hard disk drives. There's this explosion of Flash. People want to get the most bang for their buck out of Flash. And in most cases, that involves using that in conjunction with hard disk drives and using the Flash to accelerate that solution. Sandisk has a great product. It's called FlashSoft. And if, Rich, you want to give us kind of an explanation of how that works.
Sure, exactly. So FlashSoft is software that's installed in the server, and it enables the server to use a solid-state device as a volume that will be a cache for the most frequently accessed data. So it doesn't require any changes to the existing storage infrastructure at all. It's only an intermediate cache for the data. And that's one of the big appeals of this use of Flash, because many implementations of Flash require an upgrade of some sort or another to the storage infrastructure or the storage network. But this is completely compatible with the existing storage infrastructure, and it's also transparent to the applications above. So the applications just see faster storage I/O.
Okay, so it's pretty unobtrusive, and you're not going to be stressing out your network. As a matter of fact, you'll be alleviating some of the load from that network with that hot data, right?
That's actually one of the primary benefits. So we like to say that it's a head and a heart decision to use server-side caching, because the heart loves that fast performance and the fact that your applications are no longer I/O constrained. But the head can justify the expenditure on Flash technology and the software, because by alleviating that traffic off the SAN, you're actually going to find yourself spending less on storage infrastructure, because you're no longer buying capacity to address performance issues.
Absolutely, and there's certain types of disk access that are well suited for SANs and hard disk drives. Sequential data and things like that doesn't necessarily need to be boosted by Flash.
That's right, and that's something that the caching software enables. We call it write stream recognition. So there are a couple of things going on. The first is that the FlashSoft software, the administrator selects which specific volumes they wish to have the I/O accelerated for. So for example, in a typical database implementation, you're going to write the log to a separate volume from the volume holding the data, right? So accelerate the data volume, but don't accelerate the log. And FlashSoft gives you this level of granularity both in bare metal and in virtualized environments. But furthermore, if we detect a write stream, we can pass that straight through to disk and bypass the cache altogether.
And by alleviating some of that more random I/O on the SAN, you can actually gain more performance from your SAN from the actual underlying hard disk drives in a means, right?
That's one of the funny things, is that when you free up the bandwidth on the SAN by caching those I/O intensive applications, even for servers that don't have caching enabled, they're going to get more access to that throughput, and their performance can benefit as well.
So yeah, so it pretty much helps you optimize the entire ecosystem, because you get some peripheral, acceleration on even other devices.
It works quite well.
And a big announcement that you guys have made recently is the new version. If you want to tell us maybe just a few of the new features on the new version of FlashSoft.
So your viewers might not be familiar with the full range of FlashSoft versions, but FlashSoft is available. The core caching technology has been enabled for both Windows Server and Linux Server in bare metal environments, but then also for VMware vSphere. For virtualized computing. Now, for the Windows and Linux versions of the product, we've recently upgraded from our version 2.0 caching engine to our most recent version of the caching engine, which is version 3.2. And it's designed the same way to accelerate performance for databases and other business processing applications in Windows Server and Linux. And some of the things that we found people asking us for was the capability when doing write-back caching to protect them against the loss of data should the SSD fail. Now, well, you could use RAID to do that, but the challenge for RAID is that it actually isn't as performant as you need when you're talking about the high performance and very low latency of solid-state memory. So what we did was we enabled a logical volume manager within the cache that enables what we call safe write-back. Safe write-back says you can write your data down and it will asynchronously but concurrently write to 2 mirrored SSDs. So you can write to 2 SSDs at the same speed at which you could write to 1 SSD. And if one of those SSDs should fail, we switch to write-through mode until the SSD is recovered.
And that allows you a measure of redundancy and data protection there.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that's an excellent feature, and one that I'm sure is very important.
Yeah, and we use the LVM for other things, such as the concatenation of multiple SSDs, so that you can increase the size of your cache by building incrementally onto the SSDs that you have installed, as long as you have slots or connectors for it.
So if when you begin using your workload, if you decide that you need more performance, it's just as simple as sliding in another piece of hardware and off you go.
Yeah. In fact, with the 3.2 announcement, one of the things that some of our data center customers were saying was they actually wanted to have multiple caches on the same server. So the cache size is 2 terabytes, but you can actually install 4 separate caches on each server.
Wow.
And that enables you to, say, have a high-performance PCIe-based cache for certain workloads, maybe have a SAS or SATA-enabled cache for other workloads.
So you can do some tiering there, and it works with pretty much any type of flash that you would connect directly into the server.
That's an extremely important point. Most people know that Sandisk is a vendor of enterprise flash hardware.
Absolutely.
And so the natural assumption is, well, this software is only going to work with your hardware. But that's not the case. FlashSoft software is provided by Sandisk for use with any vendor's solid-state device. And we actually have partnerships with a number of enterprise solid-state device manufacturers.
Yes, that interoperability, is crucial, especially to have that kind of support.
Enterprise IT likes the idea of standardizing on a software platform for caching while maintaining flexibility in their procurement strategy for hardware. I'm sure you can appreciate that.
Yes, the more the better. All righty, well, it sounds promising, and we appreciate your time today. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.